Hey guys, today I wanted to share with you my experience and my story on raising my credit score. We follow Dave Ramsey. We have kind of done it off and on our entire life. I have a college degree in business of all things, and I stayed at home for many years. So truth be told, I just kind of assumed my credit score was so bad because I had a ton of student loans. I rarely checked my credit score, truth be told, because I stayed at home for so many years. I had my first child in 2004. I went to work until November of 2015, and then I stayed at home until 2018. I did work from home a little bit in 2017, but so I had many years where it was just, I didn't really have a lot. We had credit cards. I was an authorized user on them, and then we closed them all whenever we sold our house and moved on. So I'll be completely honest with you. In holiday season of last year, not 2019, 2018, we decided, okay, we're gonna buy a house. We had sold our house in 2016. We decided we were gonna move. We wanted to be here for a little while because we moved kind of cross country. We moved from New England to Georgia. We wanted to figure out where we wanted to be. We know we want to be here now, so we said, okay, let's get our credit scores perfect. Let's get everything the way that it needs to be. So the first day I checked my credit score, I about died. My credit scores on Credit Karma, which I know it's not the best thing to use, were a 514 and a 481. Yeah, let that sink in. So we talked with a couple mortgage lenders, and I kind of told them, I'm like, I don't want you to pull my credit report, but this is what my numbers are. This is what I have on there. So they said, first things first, fight the collection account if it doesn't belong to you. So I called the company and they couldn't really verify it. They couldn't tell me anything about it. I called, and it was with a collection company. So then I called the original lender of it, and again, they're like, they couldn't really, and I'm like, well, you're reporting it to my friggin' credit. Like, you have my information somehow. So they deemed that it was probably fraud. So thankfully that popped off my credit score immediately. When that happened, my credit score went up like 55 points to 65 points depending on like the Equifax, TransUnion, or Experian, which is pretty cool. So that was off. I felt better about that. So in the meantime, my lender said, you need to get various different types of credit. He said, I know you guys don't like credit. I know you don't like using debt. I know you don't like using all that stuff. And where you don't have a ton of reserves to be manually underwritten, this is what I would suggest you do. So I got a personal loan. We got a $5,000 personal loan. We waited about a month and a half. We made a huge payment of $2,500 to it, and then I've just been paying a little bit on it. It sucks. Yes, I hate paying the interest. However, it has built my credit. We are hoping to close on a house in September, October, November, December-ish. In September, it'll be done. So it won't even mess on my credit report, but it does show an awesome timeline of having a line of credit for a very long time, making on-time payments, and then of course paying it off, which is really good for your credit score. So the bad thing, I had that closed account. Well, I contacted the collection company and they said, hey, we will take less for it. And I'm like, okay. So the best thing you could do with a collection or closed account from my things is get them to delete it. Well, this company didn't want to delete it, which was fine, but it was my debt, so I needed to pay it off. So it was pretty awesome. I think I owed like, it was either $1,200 or $1,400, I forget. And they only took like $441. Then it posted to my credit score that, it took immediate, it was 1029, that's what it was that I owed. So it took 1029 off of my amount owed, which was good. And then it also said that I paid for less as agreed, but I paid it. So that made my credit score go up 25 points. So you see how the difference of if you get something bad taken off completely, it goes off, and then whatever. So that was cool. That was awesome. And then that's when they told me to get my car loan. So then I got my car loan. It was an okay interest rate. It wasn't the best interest rate. It wasn't the worst interest rate, but I got my car loan. My credit score went up a little bit with that because I now had a personal line of credit and a car loan. And so I got my car loan in July, and then around like October, November, they said, okay, we want you to get a credit card and wait 2 months to get another credit card. So that's what I did. Oh, and I should mention in all this, I am an authorized user on a card that my mom got like back in 2014. So that was a good thing on my credit because she doesn't use her credit cards that much. I think it's a $10,000 limit and the highest she's had it is like $7,800. But that's down pretty low now. That's down, she's been paying that off, and that one's down to like $1,000 or $1,200. So that's been helping too. So then I got these 2 credit cards. And so then they mentioned the AZEO, all zero except one method. So I said, well, my all zero except one, my all zeros will be mine. My mom's will be the one that has the balance because I'm not going to tell my mom to pay off a credit card. And I don't want to have her take it off because it makes my length of credit history longer, blah, blah, blah. So I got 2 credit cards, and because my credit score is not that great, I had a $400 limit and a $300 limit. So they said, use them for a few months, pay them off the same month. So like use it all the way up and pay it off. Well, depending on when it, post your credit score or credit report, it'll show different balances, but it shows that you're using it. And that's what I guess they were trying to get me to do. So I did that. And then they said in January, they wanted me to pay it off. So I completely paid it off. And then those posted to my credit score. And then each time I did those went up like 20 to 30 points. Because there's utilization thresholds. It's like 69%, 89%, 29%, and 8.9%. And I guess when you cross those, your credit score will go up a little bit more or down a little bit more depending on it. I think it's like 10 to 15 points. So that raised my credit score up quite a bit as well. So today, as it stands, I stopped using Credit Karma. I mean, I still use Credit Karma. I still look at it. But I actually use my FICO. It's a better scoring system. And then that tells me my FICO 8s. Plus, I pay a little bit of money each month for it so that I can actually get my mortgage scores as well, which tells me, you know, like what my mortgage scores are or whatever. So as of today, my credit score is 690, and I'm waiting on one more thing to post, and I think I'll go over 700. So I brought my credit score from a 481 to a 514 up to a 690 in not that long of time. You know, I worked hard to get the bad things off of my credit report. I worked to build credit. I actually just refinanced my car, which they said will actually bring it up a little bit too, because I don't really know why, but it will. But I'm pissed at myself that one, I had a closed account and the collection account I don't feel bad about because that obviously was fraud. But that shows you really do need to go check your credit score and check your credit and make sure that you don't have fraud on it. But whenever I signed up for my FICO, it actually said that my information was on the black market, so that's probably how they got it. So that's why I like this, and I think it's worth it to pay for this. But they also said I need to keep using my credit cards. So what I've been doing now to keep under that 8.9% utilization, I charge on one of them, our Disney Plus goes on, which is $5.99 a month. And then on the other one, my gym membership goes on there, which is $21.99 a month. So then that's cool because then you don't have like what ifs coming out of your checking account when you don't know when they're supposed to come out. But then you're also using it. So I'm pretty dang proud of myself. I wish that my credit score wasn't that low. I think if it was higher, it wouldn't have gone up. I wouldn't have seen the high jumps that I saw. But I am hoping, praying that when we go to buy the house, I'm more like a 740, 750. That would be awesome. You know, a lot of this is too that I did go back to work and my income started reporting, and so my debt to income was lower, obviously. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great information out there. I really like the My FICO board. I'm not on that, like, they don't know who I am. It's not sponsored or anything. It's just who really truly helped me. There's a lot of great information out there. And it really helped us get to the point of being, you know, really good. My husband is kind of in the same boat. He has like no credit. He doesn't really have anything bad on his credit report. He just had no credit. because we paid off the car loan that we had when we moved here. We paid off all of our credit cards and closed them, and our rent is a personal person. Like she doesn't report to anything, so he's had nothing. So for him, it's been more so of that building credit. We put him on my credit cards, we put him on my we couldn't put him on my car loan because for my car company they won't let you. I don't know why. But we've just been trying to do things like that and mess around with his credit score. So his credit score hasn't gone up as drastically, but it also wasn't low like mine was to begin with. So yeah, if you have any questions, I can try to answer them. I'm by no means an expert, but I'm just doing kind of what I was told, what I learned, and all that stuff. And I'm really excited. I think that we'll actually probably be in a house by Christmas time. Fingers crossed. They just raised all the lending requirements because when we first started looking, it was like, if you wanted to have an FHA mortgage, you had to have between a 500 to a 580 credit score, and you could put 10% down, and then 580 and above, you could put 3.5% down. So we were fine on that, but then they just raised it, I guess, to like 680, and then they want to have like 20% down and all this stuff. So I'm kind of glad that we're waiting a little bit longer to buy, because I think then like the craziness of like all the lending requirements will go down and they won't be as crazy about it, and it won't be as stressful for us to like make sure all of our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed. But yeah, that's that story.